Oh.
Skinny guy in a big man's car.
Look how tiny. This gives you a size reference. This is the XXXL go-kart. This thing was made for me. I'm 6 foot tall, and at the time that I built this, I was high twos. I was a big boy. But so it fits me comfortable. It'll fit even a 6'4", 6'6" person. Because
I would say so. Because my legs are pretty flat to go, like, out the.
What about these shoes?
They are worn.
Yes.
I buy shoes once every 3 years whenever my feet start touching the ground.
So we are going to build some guards that lay over the rack, like some aluminum that your legs lay against, so it's comfortable. But we got a guy coming over that played for the Yankees, and he's 6'4", and he's a big son of a gun. No, I think he's 6'4". So we're going to see how. So people's been asking, will this cart accommodate even taller people? And it will. Lonnie, what are you? 5'11", 6 foot?
5'10".
Oh, 5'10". And you can see he's honestly a little short. The seat should slide up for you.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm like leaning forward to.
Yeah, your butt isn't against the back of the seat.
Not even close. I'm that far from the back of the seat.
Yeah. So we do have sliders we're going to put on it, so Becca can ride it and stuff. But you know, anybody that wants to ride the thing, they can just slide the seat up. But Lonnie hasn't drove it with all the upgrades. So we got hydro e-brake, and we got front brakes as well with another caliper on the rear. We got the steering rack and quickener, and we got good power.
Back all the way to the.
Oh yeah, so which I'm long in the legs, so that makes sense. He can't touch the gas if he slides his butt against. So we do need to put sliders on it for sure. So what we're going to be doing today is Lonnie's going to take this thing ripping around the field and see what he thinks about it, and down the road if you want to. It drives real nice.
Down the road.
You can rip it. You can slide it around in the road. Just be aggressive on the e-brake. I mean, it works good, but I mean, I don't got to break it off, but you'll see how good.
I come back, I don't know where this goes.
And I did put lock nuts on the master cylinder for the e-brake. It fell off last time. So this has a Duromax 440cc 18 horse. We put a stage 2 kit from Go Power Sports, so that's the 34mm carburetor, billet rod, billet flywheel, and the 308 cam. We're running stock, everything in the head. Stock valves, push rods. The only thing we have is Go Power Sports 65-pound double valve springs. This is a muffler off Amazon. I just did a 180 bend, and it's supported off the block, so it's a really nice setup. And we ran Go Power Sports 780 CVT kit with an inboard. And I haven't cut this down because I'm not going to until we finalize it to make sure we're not moving anything. We did 150 front caliper for the pedal brake, and then a dual piston MB200 caliper for the hydro e-brake. So it's got a lot of gripping power. It's got Go Power Sports long life tires. They're mag wheels. It looks sick, and I mean, I want it to have more power, honestly, but this is definitely a stout engine. So we will be doing head work and a supercharger to that engine very soon, and that's going to be crazy on this thing with no suspension.
Well, you said it already runs 45 down the road, but a ton of torque, so.
Yeah, I say get your phone out because I didn't test it. Yeah, so if you'll full bore, and it is a little rich. That Mikuni, I mean, it runs perfect, but I think it would rev out further if we leaned it out a little bit. But so long as you're going to throw a GoPro on, I'll go film him in the field a little bit, and he's going to rip on it and see what he thinks.
I can already tell I like it.
Yeah, Guys, we're going to take a real quick break from the video to talk about the sponsor, and that is the OG Blaster. This is PB Blaster. This is what started all back in the 50s. And a lot of people compare PB Blaster to the old boys in blue and yellow, but it ain't even the same stuff. This stuff will actually eat through corrosion and rust, and it can actually work its way up the threads of a bolt and into the nut. All you do is spray this stuff and spray it heavy, let it set for about 5 minutes, and then it helps a lot if you tap the bolt or nut with a hammer. That'll help jar some of that rust loose and help this penetrate even further in the bolt or nut. So after that, you just use some good old manpower and break through it. When I was a kid, my dad always had this in the blue and yellow stuff, and he would use this for stubborn bolts. This actually helped me hear less cuss words when I was a kid because it helped the bolts get broke loose. You probably already know about PB Blaster, but they're a huge supporter of the channel and we couldn't thank them enough. They have a whole line of products. They're adding new stuff all the time. They're not just the OG PB Blaster anymore. Blaster has everything for every lubricant you need to lubricate, to break rust free, to protect. This will also keep rust and corrosion from happening furthermore, and it's an awesome product. Their whole line of products is. They have some of the best brake cleaner I've ever used. And just check them out. The links are in the video description. They help us out to help this content come to you guys. So help them out by stocking your shelf with Blaster. Thank you so much, Blaster. I love you. All right, this is the next day. So what happened was I went to let Lonnie?
Yes.
Okay, let him ride it. And I've always mounted the pulse pumps on the engine, and it's actually a bad idea to do this because the vibrations messes with the diaphragm inside and can make it like skip pulses and stuff. So don't do this. And I knew it was way too high because the fuel tank is right here in Lonnie's diamond zone. And so if he moves his diamond zone a little bit over, there's a pulse pump right there now. So it would not start, would it?
No, we broke a pull start trying to get it to start.
Yeah, we pulled on it, and what's funny is when I rode it, it ran absolutely amazing. So it was just because these pumps would rather push fuel than pull it. So you need to have it as low as possible, like equal height of your outlet of your fuel tank. So let's see if it starts now. Is the toggle switch on? Mm-hmm. You wish it was on. Yeah, one pull. I haven't rode it today. That's nice. All right, launch it, baby. Low collar a little bit. You can't full bore it much because of the yard. Looks smooth, but it is not. All he's doing is spinning. Yeah, you yank that puppy. It just wants to spin. Oh, and you're bouncing. Watch out for the dip right there. Watch out for that hump. Whoa! about slung him out.
My foot bounced off the throttle.
Yeah, I figured it about bounced you out of the seat.
Brake too early coming in.
I heard it go.
All right, so down the hill was 56, up the hill was 55.
Okay, so 55 mile per, and it needs to rev out more, doesn't it? Just
Oh,
sound like
it seems like it's got a lot more it could give.
yeah.
I about got destroyed. A
Wow.
fly hit me right here. I was like,
did
oh,
me
if that had
yesterday.
got me in the eye, it would have murdered me.
Yesterday I rode it without no helmet. Don't do that, kids, on the road. And
Yeah, that's
beetle.
dangerous.
Wow! And I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that's pretty quick. I guarantee if it was revving out, it'd run 70, dude, because it seems like it's just holding it like $5 grand or so.
Yeah, it does. It seems like it's got a lot more to give.
Yeah. So guys, make sure to check out the links to everything used on this entire cart, and we will be. That's the red pull cover we had on an old engine we had to steal, but we'll be building this thing. I think head porting and some ratio rockers will make it real. Head porting will make it come alive and really let the RPMs rip, I feel like. Because the carb, I feel like, is tuned perfectly.
Yeah,
I mean,
it feels like it's not rich or lean.
So, and this jack shaft setup that I did, the CVT and this is like staying tight, dude. There's no slop in that thing.
Oh, it's responsive.
Yeah, it's that CVT setup, a 780 like this, and doing the reverse or the inboard pulley. I think what needs to be done is the pulley, rear pulley needs tighten the spring, because if you preload it more, it'll hold it before it expands to the high gearing ratio. And I think that's what's happening. I need to put a GoPro on it and watch it when I go top speed run it, because I think the belt's getting down at the very bottom of the pulley too soon, and it's not allowing the engine to rev out.
But then you'll lose on torque, won't you?
No, it'll be even better. It'll hold you at higher RPMs before it drops that belt down in the rear pulley, which will let it rev out further before it shifts in that second gearing setup.
This might be the best brakes we've ever had.
My buggy's
This bolt's out, or not.
gone.
Gone. Both, no, this one's on, this one's gone. I saw it.
Oh yeah, I'd never put a lock nut on it. Okay, well, Lonnie didn't die. That's one bonus.
Could have.
Look at that. Okay.
I think my leg held it down the whole time. My leg was the lock nut.
All right, so I do need to address that, I guess. What are you gonna do? Okay, well, thanks for watching. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Massive shout out to Blaster for sponsoring today's video. We've actually had this video sitting on the hard drive, and back when we did the Gravy Bones last summer, I didn't put this out because it was real close to my video, but I wanted you guys to see Lonnie's experience with it out in the field. So I think the next thing to do on the Gravy Bones car is strip it completely down. I need to move the e-brake. If you notice, I moved the e-brake or when I installed it, you're pulling straight back. It should be angled towards you so it's natural to grab it. So I think before powder coat, I'm gonna cut that off and I'm gonna angle it better towards the driver, so you're pulling towards your chest in a more natural, way. So one thing why it doesn't look so impressive is I think it's lazy because of the CVT. I do think there's a little carb tuning left on the table. but we need to get a wideband set up that we can use on all of our go-karts. That's the only true way to set up a carb, is have a wideband. They're expensive, but if you buy one and just add a oxygen sensor bung to all your exhaust, then you can put a plug in it after, run it just while you're tuning it, and then plug it off. But why it's lazy, it's a CVT. So your rear pulley, your driven pulley, is what's controlling your drive pulley. So if you have a tighter spring set up in it, it takes more power from the engine to separate that rear pulley and go into the next gearing ratio, go into the higher gearing ratio. So what I think is happening is the 780 stock, they're not meant for this kind of horsepower. We're probably above 20 horsepower, in the low 20s with this engine. So what's happening is it's overpowering that rear pulley, and it's not doing its job as efficiently. So we can do one of two things. We can contact Comment and see if they got a stronger spring for that driven pulley, or we can preload it more. There's usually a couple settings, one softer, one stiffer, and then they're set in between from factory. So I would about bet if we just preloaded the spring a little bit and maybe even drilled an extra hole and preloaded even more, we would get better RPMs out of this engine, because what's happened is engaging in that higher RPM, separating that rear pulley, which is making the belt fall a little sooner than you would want it. And it makes it feel boggy and lazy, like it isn't letting the engine rev out because it's getting that higher gearing ratio. But we can do that stuff while it's at powder coat. So I think the next thing with the gravy bones is strip it down, make a jig for it so I can produce more of these carts. We're not going to be building a lot of them. It takes a lot of manpower to build chassis to sell, and we may make a limited run of 5 or 10 gravy bones to sell. I know a lot of people's been interested, but I'm a one-man show. Lonnie's working on houses and stuff now and doing what he's passionate about, so it's me a lot of times by myself out here. So give us time. We'll try to make a jig off of this frame so we can build them more efficiently instead of just, you know, building every one off the cuff. But we're going to get it powder coated. I think I'm going to go with our Honda red we've been using. We use it on everything. Our dyno's red, all of our tooling's red. So we're going to do that frame red, and the only thing we've got to do is move that e-brake. And while it's at the powder coating shop, we can port the head, put some ratio rockers in it, make that engine even better, and we can send the rotating assembly off and get balance. I think that'd be pretty sick. So let us know what you think about the Gravy Bones cart. I know a lot of you guys love it and have been interested in one. I don't know how much they're going to cost. Metals went up. They're not hard to build, but they're not easy to build as well. I might sell it as just a frame. I definitely am not selling running vehicles. So if you're interested, always let us know in the comment section. That helps us gauge, continue to gauge if you're interested. We're really trying to get stuff out like this for you guys that you want to purchase from us, because it helps us as a business at the end of the day, and it helps us to create more content. So thank you again to Blaster for sponsoring today's video. Thank you guys for supporting us. We love you, and we really appreciate the fact that we're able to do this career, and can't wait to see what we get into the rest of the year. We love you guys, and God bless.